How's it going, everybody? Can of Coke here, and today I'm joined by a very special guest. Introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, it is me, GamePenguin21.
Yep, it's been a while since I've had you on the channel, and today we're talking about, well, a toxic streamer, apparently. Or at least a very strange, almost seemingly entitled streamer in some ways. It's a bit of a weird one. There's been some new context that apparently was discovered either yesterday
Well,
or today.
it's not new context, it's old context that it seems to get lost in it. It has to do with another clip, but we can talk about that if I find it.
I have at least 2 clips on hand as of right now, and, well, if Game Penguin manages to find any more, then obviously that will be shown off in this video, and... or if it's after we're done recording, then I'll probably edit it in post, I don't know. But, this is the first clip, and then there's, like, another clip that's kind of gonna deconstruct a lot of whatever it is that she tries to claim here. It's very strange because, honestly, some of this is at least relatively agreeable, albeit it just comes from a place of just whining a lot. But
yeah.
But let's just get into this clip, alright? We have like 2 minutes to get through.
Yeah.
She wouldn't last 10 minutes in a COD lobby is not, nor has it ever been, a valid excuse for men to act like pieces of human garbage in gaming. I shouldn't have to play a game where all I say is hi and the whole game is thrown and I'm in hell for the next 40 minutes because men are being emotional about it. That is not normal, and that's not how the old COD days were, because I promise you, as a man, you have never had somebody throw on the basis of your gender.
I mean, to be fair, I've heard a lot of horror stories and whatnot about old Call of Duty lobbies, so I mean, I guess technically she isn't wrong. Old Call of Duty lobbies weren't like they are now. They were probably significantly worse.
Oh, no, definitely. So, as someone who grew up in that time, actually, I like to say, back in my day, no. But seriously, though, Call of Duty used to be one of those communities where everyone was just assumed to be at least some sort of toxic bit. It's not like unheard of that happened, and it's not bad. It's just that you could get away with a lot more than you can now. If that makes sense. You know?
Yeah, back in those,
people weren't as sensitive.
back in ye olden days, if you will, it was a lot more like the Wild West, where you could probably just say whatever the hell you want back then.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Nowadays, and it's kind of why it's just like the common meme of like, you know, people finding like old chat logs of like old Xbox Live, like, you know, chats and whatnot being like the worst fucking thing to ever discover.
My dad works at Microsoft. You're gonna get your account banned. Yeah, but the whole thing is with toxicity in gaming, it's not as prevalent as people would have you to believe, at least the people who make these complaints. It's not as bad. It's because, well, that's just how things have been. Most of the people, like 90% of the people that I've met, genuinely speaking, are nice people that I tend to get along with. But it's that like 10 to 15% that's usually under the age of like 13, 14-ish that tend to get the most toxic in that context. Right.
I think probably the only exception that I can really think of whenever it comes to places that aren't nearly as toxic as they used to be is probably TF2. If you've heard anything about TF2, that place is just... Yeah, I don't touch TF2 anymore for a reason.
Bots and stuff, so...
Yeah, and the bots. The bots are actually the biggest reason,
Anyway, we've only done what, 30 seconds into this?
Yeah, we're only 30 seconds into this, but yeah.
That doesn't happen. You can say it happens. You're lying.
I don't know why I thought of this, but I feel like that's not only victim blaming, but that's also how some people view when they get specific actions had upon them. Like, oh, you can say that this thing happened, but it didn't happen. Like, you know, put that into any other context.
Yeah,
make her a man and have her say that same sentence, canceled immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it just doesn't... It just kind of comes across as literally just trying to deflect any actual like valid points of just kind of like, well, it doesn't really happen as often as you think. Yeah, you're just lying, so fuck you. Like, that's just kind of how it comes across to me. It just comes across as a deflection more than anything.
Yeah. Again, just so you're aware, like, you get where I'm coming from when I say other things.
I know what you're talking about, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's such a common thing in the comments of my videos. You guys want to be oppressed so bad that you'll look at a man calling me telling me he's gonna tell me to get back in the kitchen and say it's not a woman thing and say that happens to you too. It doesn't. There's a reason that historically male-dominated spaces are known for being toxic and unsafe.
Yeah, judging by one of the tweets that you sent me, and trust me, we'll be going over those, that's not entirely true.
Yeah,
That's
again,
not entirely true. There are worse spaces that are controlled by the other side, and by both sides, that are probably just as bad, if not even fucking worse.
That goes for gaming, that goes for sports. Any male-dominated space is a bad one. That's not me being sexist. That is me saying there is an inherent issue with the way that you guys have your locker room talk that makes everybody else feel unsafe.
I'm beginning to really wonder what this everyone else is. Like, I hate to be that guy, but this just kind of comes across as...
Is this everyone else in the room with us right now?
Yeah, again, I really hate to be that guy, because I don't want to come across as the kind of person that invalidates, like, genuine problems. Again, I can understand, to an extent, where she is coming from here, but that's the problem, is that it's coming from someone who just seems to just be more bitching and complaining rather than actually trying to provide potential problem or any potential
solutions.
Things to, yeah, any solutions. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. English was not coming to me right.
I don't know how you could possibly find it fun to make other people feel unsafe. No woman is asking men to make gaming a safe space with sunshine and rainbows and everything, but could you please be normal? Because I want to be able to enjoy playing the game without my life being threatened, without my body being threatened, because I'm existing as a woman. And
yeah, can I? So, what was the point again? I had it and then I lost it.
Like, I'm just gonna kind of take a page from one of the tweets that I saw that you sent me, but I'm just gonna simply state, if you take, like, just vague threats over, like, across a video game seriously, then, like, that's more of an issue with you. Like, I get it, it's uncomfortable to be hit with stuff like that, I can imagine, but if you genuinely think that they are going to somehow manage to geolocate and find where you live and actually perform any of that, then, like, you are putting a lot more faith in the people that play online video games than honestly you really should.
Yeah, so to give credence to this, though, there is one or two small cases that I can think about that happened within the past 10 years of this sort of thing happening. The only one that I found that's directly connected to video games and violence, which is also another big ongoing debate thing, is someone attempting to stab another person from losing a knife fight in CS:GO. Like, they found them and they lived in the local area and they attempted to like do that.
Again, I'm not
that's
trying
only
to
one case within like the last 10 years that I can think of that's directly connected.
Again, I'm not trying to I'm not like trying to say that it doesn't happen. I'm sure that it probably does happen every once in a while, but again, if you think that literally every single person is that intelligent or that dedicated, then honestly you're putting a lot more faith into losers online than you really should.
To be fair, though, in some cases, don't use your real name whenever you're making an online account, ever.
Yeah, that's why I call myself Sanity.
Yeah, again, unless it's for like a business purpose or for like actually getting a job like on LinkedIn or something like that, don't do it. Because that's how it's very easy for them to do it. And that was one of the reasons as to why I actually... he found my name in the first place, was because on my link tree I had my LinkedIn at the bottom of the page.
Yeah, I think you brought that up, and because of that you now no longer have your LinkedIn linked there.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I just, that's all gone. I might need to double check it though, but I made sure that was not there anymore, because
you can never be too safe. Again, not saying that shit like that doesn't happen, but of course dedicated losers do in fact exist, but
take your internet safety. Internet safety.
Yeah. Internet safety is definitely something that you do need to take seriously, because again, dedicated losers do in fact exist, but they're surprisingly few and far between. But when you do run into them, it is kind of scary.
This lesson with Game Penguin and Sanity is brought to you by the letter O. As in, oh my god, what is this bitch talking about?
Men are the ones making it unsafe. And I do not care if you feel targeted by me saying men, or if you feel attacked by me saying men. You are part of the problem. If you feel attacked by that, you're part of the problem. If you say just mute them, you're part of the problem. If you sit there and let them say that to me and you don't intervene, you are part of the problem. Because I have.
There we go.
And this is the part where I struggle to even try and understand this, because...
So, the
first of all, the first thing that she brings up, at least that I can think of, is...
If you feel offended by it.
Yeah, if you feel offended by it. Thankfully, I don't, but... The fact that she just seems to be using a general term of just, like, men online, it's kind of understandable as to why some people just kind of be like, bro, no, I'm not one of them. What are you talking about? Like, I can understand that kind of thing. Then
she's gonna immediately contradict herself in the next sentence, but we can continue.
But the second thing that she brings up is, if you just tell me to mute them, then you're part of the problem. I'm sorry, but, and excuse my French here, but, bitch, they're giving you genuine fucking advice so that way you can feel safer, okay? Muting is an option for a reason, dingus!
Yep. Muting and blocking has always been a big option.
Like, they are literally giving you sound advice, because, let's just be honest here. Let's just put it realistically. You can't control everyone that you meet on an online game! If they're making you feel uncomfortable... That's why the mute option exists, because games like that need to have an option like that, just like how every social media platform needs the option to block people.
To say that she says also, if you feel attacked by this, it's like, I mean, technically speaking, it is an attack, because you're saying that all these guys just need to be normal, and you're not normal if you're doing the trash talking and stuff. I'm like, you don't get anything to do with how gaming as a whole tends to operate.
Yeah, unfortunately, trash talk is going to exist. Hell, even it exists in single-player games. I mean, if you saw my Indigo Park stream, I was shit-talking the fucking living mascot chasing after me.
Yeah. But I also like the last thing that she says, where it's intervening. That's another big thing, because the thing is that, like, you can't do anything, or you can't, like...
Yeah, like, the thing is that, like, most of the people that...
and you're getting upset about this, that's your problem. If you're giving me genuine advice to try to help me maintain a safer environment, or, in turn, stop the harassment by, doing that, and genuine criticism, or if you intervene...
Well, no, she says if you don't intervene, then apparently part of the problem.
But I've known girls, like, if you're ever doing, like, dating or something like that, where you will intervene and they'll be like, why did you intervene? I had that handled. I'm like, he was about to punch you.
Yeah,
like,
but on top of that,
he punched me in the eye.
Yeah, but on top of that too, some people just don't intervene because they realize that they probably have just about as much control over the situation as literally everybody else, especially when it comes to an online lobby. Like, of fucking course people aren't going to intervene 100% of the time, because they probably realize that they have about as much control over the situation as you do.
A lot of male friends, normal male friends, who don't say slurs and don't threaten people and just play like normal. I understand it's not all men. But if you are not one of the men doing this, it is entirely on you to help stop the men who are. If you don't...
I hate to break it to you, but no, it's not.
No.
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not our job to try and intervene on a situation that we have just about as much control over as you do. Hell, half the time we probably have them muted because they make us uncomfortable as well, so what the fuck are we gonna do?
Understand that, and you don't understand power imbalances and gender hierarchy. It's not my place to teach you. I'm not your mother. I'm not your teacher. Close the game for 5 minutes and educate yourself, but stop making this a bad experience for everybody else who's just trying to play the game.
Take your own advice.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally what I was about to say. Literally just take your own advice. Step away from the computer, take the headphones off, and touch some grass and realize, holy shit, I have a power move at my disposal. It's called the fucking mute button.
Yeah, and again, saying that it's like a power imbalance, that might apply to real life, absolutely. But honey, sweetie, darling...
It's a video game!
Yeah, it's a fucking video game.
It's pixels on a screen. You're getting fucking pissed off at...
Yeah, again, you have just as much power...
You're getting pissed off at little Jimmy with his $2 tin can microphone saying that he's gonna beat you up and telling you to go into the kitchen, and you're getting mad about it. Like, holy shit!
Anyway.
But here's the other clip that just kind of... Like... She came across as just like a whiny jackass in the first clip, to be honest here. But this is where she just kind of comes across as genuinely deranged.
Mm-hmm. By the way, some people tried to pass this off as a joke. Like her defenders, they totally did. I'm not joking.
Jesus Christ. But here's the other clip.
No, it's over, Ina. It's over. Like, if I were to have a boy, we better pray to God that he's gay. We better start indoctrinating him day one. We have to either make him trans or make him gay. We are not having a cisgender straight son.
Now here's the thing, okay? As someone that is within the LGBT community, someone who has literally a trans partner, someone who is definitely a heavy advocate for the rights of, you know, the LGBT community and whatnot, this is not how you fucking do anything. You don't indoctrinate people into becoming that way. Like, you don't control people. You don't indoctrinate people into becoming like that. If you have a kid, if you have a son, and they turn out to be cis and straight, well, congratulations. You can't do jack diddly fuck about it. Don't pink pill anybody like that. That's a fucking term that I had to learn due to the fucking Mudahar video. Great. I'm glad that I have that eldritch knowledge, but you don't fucking do that shit, okay? You don't fucking do that shit. You wanna know how I came to my discoveries? I figured it out on my own. No one forced me.
Yeah. Again, the same thing kind of here, where it's like I had to figure out what I like, what I don't like at the same time. I will probably never reveal to the world if I am gay or if I am straight or if I am European, because apparently that's also a thing.
I know. Nice. Nice.
Yes. Anyway, but so yeah, again, to those unaware, pink pilling is essentially what she just said. Which is kind of like indoctrinating a person to believe that they are one thing or another thing. There's a whole mess of situations for it, but the biggest one that was recent was that I can remember. Was it Keffels? I don't remember the Keffels one. I just remember.
Oh, is there like another situation that?
Well, I thought I mentioned this as well on like the live stream.
I can't remember.
Where it was someone who was promoting a website for homemade. Like,
yeah, that was Keffels.
Stuff. Oh, okay, yeah.
That was Keffels.
Right. Yeah. But, yeah. It is not good. Don't do this. It's the same thing with, like, trying to make,
I think I speak for
gay.
anyone that is within the community right now. We do not approve of the message that this bitch has just said. Yeah, we don't listen. We don't approve of forcing anybody into thinking any particular kind of way. In fact, if you've literally been around on my channel for any length of time, you would know that one of my main tenets is if you're not forcing anybody into anything, if you're not like hurting anybody, then you're good by my fucking terms. Break any of those, and I break your kneecaps.
Anyway, so let's look at some of these replies.
Yeah, we have a couple of replies. We'll start off with, well, the gatekeeping one. So I'll just let you know what screenshot I'm on so that way you can keep up.
So yeah. So this one's Papa Uwu. He's one of the people who actually did a lot of the exposing for Taylor Morgan as well, because he's the one who brought forward the other clip of her basically setting him up to look like the villain, right? Setting the guy up to look like the villain in this, because she had him muted, and he's done this before. Is the takeaway.
But yeah, the tweet goes as follows. The difference between men and fake gamers. We can trash talk, call each other names, make fun of each other all game long, but we are back to being friends the next game. Maybe the oversensitive ones are the people who can't handle words without throwing a fit. Which is something that I can kind of agree with here, especially in regards to this particular individual.
Yeah.
Which just seems to, and of course, you know, the image of gatekeeping explained, which is, you know, join the hobby and versus change the hobby, which just kind of comes across as what this particular streamer was advocating for, which was to have everyone try to change in order to try and make her feel comfortable when she has a very easy tool at her disposal in order to make it more comfortable for herself. She can't seem to go through the Apparently she can't be asked to go through the extra effort of actually clicking just a few buttons in order to mute people, but expects everybody to jump through a bunch of hoops in order to cater to her. And then, of course, we go to this next image right here. You want to read this one?
Oh, did I not? So, this one is when it's a guy getting threatened. This is a felony. Asmongold responded to Twitch streamer how do you spell
Denims, I think.
Denims, yeah. Saying she would pay 30,000 to whoever made him disappear. When it's a girl threatened, he basically has... I don't want to read all of that, but I constantly get threats, called a bitch, and told to go back to the kitchen, this is bad, and then a bunch of criticisms about that, which were genuine. And I think that this is meant to show, like, the double standard.
Yeah,
I guess. But to add more context to this, the first one saying that this is a felony, it actually is.
Yeah, it literally is a fucking felony. Yeah. Meanwhile, in the other case, it is basically just really childish trash talk at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, even then, it's Asmongold does tend to give very snarky remarks, but they're genuine criticisms at times within his things. Like, not to say that everything that he says is like gospel and you should take him at the word.
Oh, no. Yeah, definitely.
Like, much like most people, you have good takes and you have bad takes. In this context, he's basically explaining that don't let it get to you. Like, that's one of the big things here, is like, don't let the words get to you. In the context of the first one,
it is literally someone advocating for, like, literally saying, hey, I'll pay you to make this person disappear. Like, Correct. It is, like, just a straight up, it is just straight up not only just a threat of violence, but an incentivization of violence.
The next three are replies to the actual.
So next one is this Nina Infinity individual. I will never understand this logic. I'm a woman and I played games with rude people who say stupid shit, and it goes in one ear and out the other. What is this BS about making a safe space in these gaming lobbies? Ain't no one coming through the monitor to do that to you, hon. Which is kind of exactly what I said. Like, if you're genuinely if you genuinely hear these kinds of threats from these sweaty losers across, like, you know, like Valorant or Call of Duty or whatever the fuck kind of shooter game that you're playing lobbies, and you genuinely think that they are actually going to go out of their way to try and, like, go onto fucking, like, Google Maps and locate and find your location and do anything to you, then you're honestly putting a lot more faith into in the willingness of these kinds of people than you honestly should.
Yeah, I think in this context, Occam's razor is definitely the way
exactly.
To go.
Like if you're gonna be taking the threats of sweaty nerds seriously, then honestly, you probably should try to find a different game to play. Alright, and then this next one, that Star Wars girl saying, the most toxic industries are fashion and beauty, both female-dominated spaces. She can't get her facts right because it destroys her narrative. Girl, if you can't handle being around boys treating you like an equal, don't invade their bubbles. It's very simple. Which, again, very fair. That's why I'm not within the fashion and beauty industry, because I feel like, well, first of all, I have the fashion sense of about what you would expect, let's be honest.
I was like,
I just slap on whatever the fuck I have on hand, and that's my wardrobe for the day. All right, that's basically how I operate.
Yeah, and I think most guys have it the same way.
The only time in which I put on a uniform is, well, just for work. That's really about it.
Again, as someone who lives and breathes video games, if you don't like the community, you're free to leave. If you've ever seen the meme of, like, I'm leaving. Okay, that was always an option. Like, it's always the same thing.
An update to this about her getting...
as just an update to everyone to the situation. She did get banned for 2 weeks for hateful content in the stream and VOD and stuff. Now, I am unsure if it was because of what she said off of the platform where she made that video for TikTok, obviously, or if it was some of the stuff that she had said in recent VODs, which, as we've seen, exist. Like, those clips exist.
Yeah.
Which, just so people are aware, the 2-week ban is not like it is actually more severely of a punishment than anything else. The reason being Someone explained this to me by the name of Pirate Software. He did a very good explanation where if you get
I know who that guy is.
But basically, if
he's very cool and he owns ferrets. That's all I need to know about him.
Yeah, but he basically explained that when you're banned for a particular amount of time, if you're on Twitch or if you have a person who is subscribed to you and their subscribed numbers and their their payments to you don't go through because you're not streaming or they don't automatically get renewed or whatever, you lose that money for that month. So that 2-week ban is actually more detrimental to streamers than people might originally think. It's like, it's just 2 weeks. Yeah, but in that 2 weeks, she could lose about half the subs that she probably has. So,
if you guys enjoyed, what have we learned today? My head hurts. That's what I've learned.
I need more caffeine in the morning to deal with this.
Yep. But anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. That's very well appreciated. Leave a comment down below what you thought about the video, what you want me to talk about next, and subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more content such as this. Again, Twitter exists. My, Discord server also exists. And, yeah, this has been Sandy, and who the fuck are you?
Game Penguin 21.
And, have yourselves a nice day.